Well, hello everyone, I'm Dr. Stock and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Today I'm talking about a crypto update. So we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Polygon. I know that there's a lot of others out there, but the video is only so long and there's just a few things I want to take a look through. And we really are starting to rally with Bitcoin prices, Ethereum prices, Polygon's also moving up. Solana's struggling ever since it got hacked, even though it's back up and running and crisis averted, it's still something that's going to rocket in the short term. And even though I think that overall long term it will recover its price, it's still struggling. So we're going to take a look at where we're at with each of those cryptos. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Polygon, and just give a little bit of commentary on each one and where I think that they're going next and where I think that they're going over the longer term. So stick around and let's get ready to rock. Alright, welcome back. For those of you who are interested, down in the description I have my link to my Patreon. If you want to join my community of investors over there, they're positive, passionate people. That's a lot of alliteration right there for you that care a lot about investing, and they're always looking forward for that next financial opportunity. And if you're one of those people, then by all means, come over and join us. We'd absolutely love to have you there. Also, Webull, Moomoo, those links are down there. The referral links, you sign up, deposit your money, get free stocks. Throw them back at you for doing that. I also get some free stocks for the referral, so it's a nice way for both of us to win and get some free returns on that one. And then finally, cover up those eyes. Tap around so you hit the like button. Maybe on the way you hit that subscribe button for my channel, and then also that notification bell to see any time that my videos come out. Sometimes they're time sensitive and sometimes they're things that you can sit back and think on, and they could be lasting over weeks, months, you name it. So anyway, we better move on from there. Let's get on to the cryptos. Alright, so here we are on CoinMarketCap, and you can see Bitcoin trying to overtake that 48,000 line that we have. And, I think that they actually have done it recently and moving that market cap up, trying to push it up over that $1 trillion mark. And honestly, I think that will be there probably not too much in the future. For any of the analysts are correct about the end of 2021, some people are saying six figures up to that 100,000 mark by the end of 2021, and that would be an incredible run from where we're at right now. So we're actually going to take a look at Bitcoin's chart and see what's going on with it, and see from a technical perspective if we're going to start that run right now or if we have another hiccup on the way. Same thing for Ethereum. Right now, currently rocking at about $3,600 per Ether token. And then don't forget that for Ethereum that we have that merge with between the mainnet and the beacon chain, switching over from proof of work to proof of stake, which I think is going to be a major price catalyst moving forward. I think, well, I'll get to more commentary on that soon. Let me come back to that. I get excited, get ahead of myself. Ooh, Cardano pushing close to 250. I know that's not really part of this video, but I do like Cardano. All right, so Solana under $160 per SOL token. And to me, I think that, when we look at the chart, we'll see that. I think that that's a decent deal right now. I think that Solana has a bright future ahead of it. Sol being the Spanish word for sun, kind of goes along with having a bright future and dad jokes. And I do love myself a good dad joke. All right, all the way down here, taking back over for spot number 21 by market cap, we have Polygon, which was down in the $20s recently and now is back up over that $40 mark. So Polygon, we heard the E&Y news joining the big four, one of the big four firms in the world partnering with Polygon, and there's speculation that we could get some short-term excitement out of that, but then there's still some concerns that go along with that as well. That is something that keeps the price down in the future. I'll discuss some of those when we get to it. Right now, let's hop over to Bitcoin. So looking at Bitcoin's chart, let me zoom out a lot here so that we can see more of the price action that we have. And we can see the winter into springtime excitement that we had with Bitcoin, and then kind of retaking this kind of lower slant line that we have. I don't want to make this video too long, so hopefully me tracing my cursor along that slant line is enough for you today. I do want to take a look more near term to see what's going on. So you guys see this drop that we have in the relative strength. So this would be a drop in momentum, and if you look at the prices going up, what that is bearish divergence, and so that can sometimes signal a drop. And when you look here, that's exactly what happened, is that eventually when we got close to that 50 line, going from bullish territory down to bearish territory, we started getting that drop that we have right here. So we have lower highs, we have lower lows, and then finally the straw broke the camel's back was, what we had with the regulation in China, the crackdown that we had on the crypto mining practices that were taking place there. And that was enough to weaken enough that we get that sell-off all the way through most of the summer. And now we come back to a price rally, which took our RSI way up. And we have a little bit of bearish divergence happening again, where we have that drop in relative strength and the prices are going up. We had that big sell-off day, and that's probably what accelerated this part of it a little bit. Now, mind you, these tops are kind of even, and maybe without that sell-off that we would have seen that. What will happen in order to refute this little bit of divergence that we have here is that we need it to climb up, and when it does inflect down again, well, either it climbs up and puts in a new high, that will break the pattern, or that when it does settle and we get a low, that it's not a new low where we get more of a sell-off. Anything under 50 would be bearish, so you can see we went bearish for a little bit during that time when we had that big sell-off on September the 7th, and now the momentum's kicked back up into bullish territory. We need it to pick back up even more so that way we can see that rally continue. So even though we have bearish divergence, which is a good indicator that we're going to have a bearish reversal, it's not set in stone. So really we want to keep an eye on the volume that happens here. We want to keep an eye on the news that happens, because these are things that can make that play out. And if you're bullish on Bitcoin, you don't want that sort of thing to play out. Taking a look at what's going on with Ethereum. There we go. Ethereum didn't quite make it to $3,700 per Ether token. I think it fell like $24 shy of that on this most recent candle that we have here. The prices have a slow, steady climb. However, the RSI, again, showing that little bit of bearish divergence that we have going on. Honestly, this part right here, this big sell-off is something that may make it look like something that isn't actually about to happen. We do have a tapering off right now with the volumes, that there's not as much commitment necessarily in these prices that it's currently trading at. So that's something to watch out for. I'm not bearish on Ethereum. As a matter of fact, Ethereum is the one that I'm most bullish on, that I think is going to be one of the clear winners that we have within the next 5 years to next 10 years. When I talk about this possibly pulling back, taking on a sort of bearish reversal, for me that creates significant buying opportunities. I was in the crypto market a long time ago, and I did the mining myself. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin. Well, I didn't mine the Bitcoin. What I did was I converted the coins that I did mine over to Bitcoin, figuring that Bitcoin would be the leader there. And, well, I stepped out of the game for a long time, and I didn't get back in until this most recent dip when I saw opportunity, figuring that we would recover and, catching at least a decent part to step into it. So I got back into it this summer and really started closely following it. And then since I'm on YouTube now, I also decided to start putting coverage out there for crypto as well. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot to do my homework, but it's something that I think is going to pan out really well, and it's going to return some pretty darn good gains that are going to outpace that we would find in the regular stock market. So to me, it makes a lot of financial sense, and it is the smallest portfolio I have. It might be a grower, but it is tiny for right now. I continue to dollar cost average, and that's exactly what I would do if we get a significant pullback in Ethereum, is that I would take that as a dollar cost averaging approach. Right now, I do little bits at a time, and if I saw this pull back to 3,000, I would take a bigger chunk. If I saw it drop below 3,000, that would be something that, I could buy even heavier on. Do I think that we're going to have that bearish reversal? Honestly, I don't know that we have a lot of really good signals other than the bearish divergence that you see here. That September the 7th sell-off is something that I think accelerated some of this push that we have here. I think without that, I don't know that we would have put in a lower low down here. I think that we would have seen maybe a slight rest in momentum before we carried forward beyond that. So I think that we do have a pretty clear shot to 4,000, and I'm not saying it's going to be straight there, but we might pull back a little bit, but maybe down to this little slant line down here, so maybe back down to 3,300 from here. So what would that be? A little just under or right around a 10% drop. So those are my thoughts on Ethereum. I think overall by the end of the year 2021 that we're going to be at around 5,000. I believe that's conservative, and it's bullish and it's conservative, and that's a lot my style. Bitcoin overtaking that $60,000 mark, I think is way conservative, and for end of 2021, I think it's reasonable, and anything beyond that is just gravy on my part. So I do think that the bull run is going to continue, and I think giving 3 months time when we can get astronomical gains or we can get huge losses, I think staying right in that wheelhouse, bullish, yes, but with problems along the way, because the crypto market is still developing. It is still going to be a volatile space, even if it's not as volatile as it used to be. I still think that we're going to continue to see those periods. I think that we're going to end 2021 on a strong note, and I think it's going to be a nice step into 2022, giving us good prices moving forward from there. Solana is finally settling. People can't decide what the heck to do. Right now, we have some battle-tested doji candles in here. And these narrow range dojis, we could see some firm support showing up if either today or tomorrow we get strong volume in a large bodied candle that starts to reverse some of this, especially if we get over a 50% retracement from where we're at right now, which is about 158 to the top of this candle, 192. So that's a difference of 34, so $17 up. So that would be about 175. So if we can break the 175 line either today or tomorrow on good volume, then we know that we have a good chance at the next leg up on Solana. And people's confidence is shaken right now. I mean, it just got hacked and people don't want to lose their money. I think that those are very valid concerns. The nice thing is that we want these sort of tests early on in a cryptocurrency's life. And for the Sol token and for Solana itself to be tested in this way and find that point of failure, and with their hackathon coming up, I mean, this is honestly, in my opinion, it's good timing. Even if it's bad news, this is the time that we want to hear it. We don't want this to be really established and have it globally launched where we have so much institution and enterprise and large investments, and we have very large sums of money in this, and then all of a sudden it gets hacked and locked up and forks everywhere. It doesn't sound like a good plan. So I think Solana, is going to have a lot to learn from this, and I think that they're going to recover, and I don't think it's going to take that long for them to regain that momentum. As a matter of fact, we could even treat this as a bullish flag pattern that we have going on right now. We have excellent volume along this flagpole, sort of flagging to the downside, finding support between like 150, 160, and then starting its next leg upward from there, possibly taking us up to that 250 mark. So definitely watch Solana. I want to wrap this up for you guys with Polygon here. Polygon, we have the Hermes merger. We also have Coinbase using the Matic token for its efficiency and for also its low transaction cost. Ernst & Young also joining it. And, these are absolutely huge movers, and I think that it's going to be something that moves it up over time. We have, if you look at the RSI, like I was talking with Bitcoin and with Ethereum, this one actually looks pretty solid for, I don't know what you want to call it, but like here we have that rise up, and here we have that drop. So you see bearish divergence, but here we didn't put in that next high. I think that we got wrecked by this. So I don't know how much we can trust this in the overall pattern. This could be one of those black swan events that comes in and knocks things down for a little bit. So we'll see. As long as we don't put in another low, if we stay above that 50 line, I think that we're going to continue to march upward with Polygon prices. And I think seeing that $2 mark by end of 2021 is very reasonable. End of 2022, I mean, it depends on how Ethereum does. The relevance that people see for Matic once they get those transactions per second. One thing that's concerning about Matic, the Polygon network, is its centralization, and it's something that allows them to have really fast transaction speeds, but it does put a hit against their security. So it's not that it's without its problems, because if it was a perfect network, if it was the pinnacle among networks that we have or among blockchains that we have, well, then we would see pinnacle type prices. So there's reasons that I'm bullish on this. I think that there's a lot of adoption. I think that there's a lot of demand for the Matic token, and I just don't think that we're seeing the prices to really merit. Or I don't think that we're seeing prices that reflect what Matic is really worth for its current value. And I think certainly end of 2021 we should most definitely be solid in the $2 range, and then up from there end of 2022, as long as that strength continues and the adoption continues, we really have to watch that demand. $5 is not out of reach. I mean, really, again, it depends on what we see for the Ethereum network and how far they've progressed with their ETH 2.0, with their proof of stake, and with sharding. How many transactions per second are they able to put through? So those are some things that I think about when I consider Polygon. So let me summarize. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, I think that they are all going to be taken up overall by the bull run that we're on. And even though we do have some signals that we could possibly have a short-term pullback in this, I think that it is something that's going to continue to rally. And honestly, that sell-off that we had on September the 7th, I think, is messing with some of our indicators a little bit. And the RSI, looking at a single indicator and putting too much emphasis into it, isn't necessarily the best idea. So it is something that I'm keeping an eye on. I'm also watching the volumes. I'm watching the news, the different price actions that we have. And I think overall that it's almost a channel that we have on Ethereum, and it's a bullish channel that it's keeping us locked. You know, we have parallel lines marching upward for Ethereum, and you know that's a very good thing. Solana, I think, is resting a little bit, but I think it's also going to start its next leg up. Polygon is also, some people are calling it an inverse head and shoulders pattern that we're seeing, and that we should see a breakout above the neckline sometime soon. It's above the $1.63 mark, so that's something else that you want to keep an eye out for. So just to be clear, I'm bullish on every one of these. I have a very, very tiny position in Bitcoin. Ethereum is where most of my money is. I have a significant portion of my money in Polygon, and I have a growing position in Solana. I started that at $70 per token, and I dollar cost averaged at around, I think, 160 and maybe 170. I think I added into that. So the gains don't look as big as they are, but my initial position has just as big a gains at this price. It's just those positions that I added on to, they have smaller gains. And so when you put those all together, the weighted average, as it works out, turns out to make it look like it's less so, which is kind of painful. But I say that to you because when you do add in at higher prices because you believe something is going to continue to rise, it is overall a good thing. It looks like a smaller percentage, but it's of more money. So those are things just to consider, just to keep in mind. So thank you guys for watching this. I really appreciate it. It's been incredible. Remember that you can always, uncover your eyes. Just tap the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell to see anytime more of my videos come out. And that's absolutely enormous support. Even watching this video all the way through, wonderful support. And then also don't forget down in the description if you want to join my Patreon and see more of what I have to offer over there with my portfolios, newsletter, watch list of stocks that I put out every week, then those are things that you can also check out. Moving on from there, Webull, Moomoo, the referral links are also there for you. Sign up, deposit your money, get your free stocks, and then I get my free stocks. Thanks again for that sort of support. Last thing that I have for you is just an overall, again, thank you very much. I'm Dr. Stock. Thanks for rocking with me. Now go get that money.